Hello and welcome to Crafts by Katelyn. I'm so excited for today's video. I'm actually sharing some Pinterest inspired Christmas DIYs that I put together for just a couple bucks in just a couple minutes. So make sure you stay tuned to see how I put everything together, as well as the photos of the pins that inspired each DIY. Let me know in the comments below which one of today's projects are your favorite, and I'd also love to know what you're working on for your Christmas crafting, if you're getting a head start or if you're kind of still just enjoying fall. Now let's jump on into crafting. So for the first DIY, I'm actually sharing a little tree made out of like scrapbook paper. You can make it out of washi paper. I was actually inspired by my sister-in-law. I was working on crafts and she actually sent me a pin that she thought was really cute that she wanted me to try to make. So while I was making it, I thought, hey, I'm gonna tell them that this is a Pinterest inspired DIY and show you where I got it from. So I thought it would be so fun to make this whole video Pinterest inspired DIYs. And so that's what I'm bringing you today. So this first one's really cute, and there's a billion different ways that you can customize it and make it your own, but I'm going to show you how I put it together using some scrapbook paper and a $1 8x10 canvas from the Dollar Tree. I'm using this canvas to get the frame for this project, and then I'm also going to be using an assorted scrapbook paper. I picked these up at Hobby Lobby for $1, and I just got several different patterns that kind of coordinated with each other. And then to get the frame though, I'm going to be taking a sharp knife and very carefully try to just cut around the staples. If you want to, you can remove the staples to get the canvas off, but it just seems like that takes extra work. So I'm just going along and just kind of cutting it from the frame. You won't be able to see the back anyway, so I didn't care that the staples stay in there. I pulled all the canvas away from the frame, and then just what I couldn't rip off, I took a pair of scissors and just tried to trim it around so it wouldn't overhang in the center. I wanted this to have more of a subtle background since there's going to be so many patterns and busy scrapbooking paper everywhere or layered up on this. So I picked the most black and white simple design for the background, and I just go ahead and trace the canvas and then cut this out and then attach it to the back of the frame. But if I had to do this again, I recommend Mod Podging this onto a piece of cardboard and then gluing it on the back of the frame just so you don't get any bubbles. So I didn't want to leave this frame this natural color. I wanted to give it some color, but I didn't want to paint it. So I'm going to try to stain it with this gray color, and I do that by using some of my elephant colored chalk paint, and I mix that with a little bit of water and then just brush that all over the frame.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. Makes me feel this way, don't know what you do.
And then I just hot glue my scrapbooking paper to the back. You could use a picture frame for this project. It would be really easy just to add all of your scrapbooking paper on one piece of paper and then insert it in your picture frame. But I kind of like how the frame sticks up, so it does look like a wooden, kind of like a farmhouse sign. After I got the paper on the back, I went ahead and glued some cardboard just to give it some extra support.
Hold my hand, could you hold my hand, look me in the eyes. You and me.
I went with kind of a red theme for my tree. I love this dark red with the snowflakes. I wanted to make that the bottom because that's going to be the biggest piece. And I just eyeballed it. I cut out a rectangle, and then I went ahead and just used that as the pattern to cut out all the other sheets. And then all I had to do was just trim off about 1/2 inch to make it a little bit shorter so it would create the next little tree branch.
I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you.
You can just play around with this. You can tell that I keep being undecisive. I couldn't decide which ones that I liked next to each other. It honestly doesn't matter. It looks good. Just them all being different styles lined up together. But but I just tried to put my favorite patterns at the bottom because those were the largest pieces. And then to kind of make it coordinate just a tiny bit, I used that same snowflake red paper at the top. And then I'm using one of these little wooden stickers from Dollar Tree because I thought it was so perfect. That little golden glitter star. And then I didn't have any small popsicle sticks, so I ended up having to cut down this large one. I thought that I would keep it at this wide base, but whenever I did try to cut it, it did crack, but it still worked out really good. I went ahead and used that piece, I just trimmed it down. I'm using burnt umber in the apple barrel paint and going to paint my little tree trunk. I let that dry and then hot glue it down onto the bottom center of the paper, and then I use Mod Podge to kind of hold down the other papers until I can Mod Podge the entire thing. I try to angle them at different directions so they do kind of look scrappy. It kind of got confusing, but I got it figured out after I got closer to the top. And then I just go ahead and try to make sure that they all are really glued down on the corners. I am actually using this gloss Mod Podge, but I do prefer to use satin on projects like this just so it's not super shiny. I feel like it shows my brush strokes a lot more whenever I do use the gloss. After I liked how it looked, I just covered the entire thing with some of this Mod Podge. I actually just ended up doing one thick coat of this, and it actually made all of the bubbles go away. I was worried about not gluing the backing down, but it actually must have soaked up in the paper and kind of tightened it all up. So then I wanted to add some cute little buttons for the ornaments, like the Pinterest pic that I had found. I tried to find some coordinating colors that would still kind of pop off of each little scrapbook paper. I love little homemade Christmas decor setting around my house, especially ones that look really homemade or scrappy. This is the original image that I found on Pinterest, or that was sent to me from my sister-in-law, but I love how it came together. I think this would especially be cute if you had a craft room and you wanted to display this in there as well. So the second DIY is using the 14-inch wreath form and a scarf, and it turned out so cute. I didn't even know that people made these, but I stumbled across this on Pinterest, and I worried that I didn't have two scarves because I thought that's what it would take, but I ended up being able just to use one. So look how I put this together. I think it turned out so cute in such a rustic farmhouse Christmas DIY. I'm using the 14-inch, but I have been seeing other people find larger ones at Dollar Tree, so I'm really hoping that I do find those, but Walmart does sell a larger wreath form. And then I'm using this red and black buffalo check scarf, and I had just picked up one earlier and I just worried that it wasn't going to be enough, but after I got it took apart and cut in half, it fit perfectly. So I began by cutting several inches off of each end because I do want to save those little tassel ends so I can make a little bow or knot at the bottom. So I go ahead and just try to cut them the same size and lay them over to the side. And then the trick to get this to go further, this scarf, is I cut it in half, and I tried to use one of the lines as a guide just so that I was trying to cut it as straight as possible.
How'd you do? I'm not broken, I'm just split in two. Hope you're fine, ain't got time to do everything you said you would. Frames of the past and the memory.
To start wrapping this around, I started just folding it over with some hot glue to make sure that it was really secure, and then I tried to wrap this around the side that I had cut so it would kind of hide that little edge that I didn't get perfectly straight. You can see that there's some little threads hanging off of it, so I'm tucking that under, and this worked really good. I do recommend trying to tack it with a little bit of hot glue here and there, and then after I pulled that as far as I could, I hot glued that down, cut off the excess, and then started with the other half.
To my friends think I'm lame since I met you. I
I had exactly the right amount. There is a couple inches that is exposed in the back, but you really can't tell from the front. But I will hot glue the other pieces of my scarf over that so you won't be able to tell. So then you can kind of check for loose pieces and go back in and just kind of hot glue everything down. These pieces weren't long enough to make a double knot, so I just tied it once, and then I had to glue down the back end of this just to make sure that it was not going to come untied, and then I hot glued it down to the front. You also could use some wire or kind of stitch this with a little bit of thread if you wanted a really secure hold, but this seems to be working really great right now. I pulled the little tassels or strings to the bottom, and then I'm using some greenery from Walmart. Walmart has out some beautiful picks right now for 98 cents, and I just love having these on hand. But if you want to keep this a Dollar Tree craft, you can use the Dollar Tree little pine cones and berries. They would look really nice as well.
How could they say you made me come undone? Now I know that it's okay.
I already think that this wreath looks awesome like it is, and you could leave it plain like this and hang on your door or hang up on a wall. But I have this Believe ornament from Dollar Tree, and I thought it coordinated so nice. It has the red and black buffalo check little bow, and it has that gold glitter that I think looks really nice with the pine cones. So I wanted to make this dangle from the center, and I didn't really know any way else other than to hang it in the center is let it hang by wire. All I had was this super thin little floral wire, so I'm trying to double it up and twist it around so it is a little bit stronger. I loop that through the little sides of the letters, and then I have to cut a little piece in the back to try to get it to hang, and then I re-secure it with some hot glue. This wreath ended up taking about $5 to make, and I literally put it together in less than 10 minutes. It was so fast and easy to put together. The hardest thing was just trying to get that Believe centered, and I just fixed it with the wire and then hot glued it into place. But whoever came up with this, it was such an ingenious idea. I love it. I think with the red and black buffalo check, it looks so warm and cozy for this holiday season. I think it will match all of my farmhouse decor perfectly, but also mix in a lot of the rustic. Okay, so for number 3, I'm going to be using these white candles from Dollar Tree and going to put a little rustic Christmas spin on them. I think they turned out so cute. And then make sure that you wait and see how I put together another sweet little friend after that. This craft or pinned me seemed ridiculously easy, so I had to give it a try, but they were using these white candles in this glass tall jar from Dollar Tree. I have seen these at Dollar Tree a million times and I never know what to do with them, but I saw this pin of just adding some of this red and white check ribbon on there and adding some little greenery, and I thought it would be beautiful and just look so good setting with some more of my decor and be a very inexpensive decor piece that you could use in your home. So the first thing I do is remove the labels, and then I put some hot glue down. I picked up this ribbon from Hobby Lobby. It was $10 originally, but I got it half off, so $5 for this huge roll. And this ribbon is so cool. It's like really flannel and fuzzy on one side, and then the other side is just normal fabric ribbon. So it has two completely different looks to it, but is really high quality on both sides. So I tried to fold it over and make it look nice, and I had cut it too short, so I just went ahead and glued the back down. And I'm trying to straighten it up and make sure that it looks really good and make sure that it's really secure. For my greenery, I picked up this 97-cent little pick from Walmart. They have beautiful picks at Walmart right now, and this is definitely one of my favorite ones. So I cut off the stem and just glue that down and then add a little jute string bow.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know a single thing that I haven't done to make you notice me. Let me be
To dress it up a little bit more, I'm using some of these mini pine cones. I picked these up from Dollar General. They were just $1 for several of them. And they have little hooks on them, but sometimes they pull out whenever you are ripping them off. So I was able just to hot glue that down. And that's all it took to put these beautiful candles together. Like I say, these are ridiculously easy, but I think it is beautiful and can add a lot of charm to your home.
When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around.
While using these candles, I also wanted to show you how to make this beautiful little snowman. And I am using some more of that Hobby Lobby buffalo check fabric that's in the gray. I got this on sale, so I thought it was a lot cheaper than even ordering some gray buffalo check ribbon. I was having trouble finding it, but I did find some on Amazon, so I will put that in my favorites if you want to go check that out down below. But I wanted his little scarf to be coordinating with all of my decor, so I just cut a piece that was about the size of a piece of ribbon. I tied it around and secured it with hot glue, and then I'm freehanding him a little face with a Sharpie paint marker, and then adding a little orange nose with some of my orange apple barrel paint. To make him look a little bit more decorated, I'm adding another small piece of that greenery as well as some red berries that I cut off of one of the Dollar Tree picks.
I'm still a kid trying to act like they all taught me, but nothing makes sense anymore.
And then I just decided I was going to glue his buttons down his scarf because I knew they wouldn't stick to that glass very well, but I think it looked really good anyways. This is a super fast craft. You can make this at a little craft party or whip up several of these to give to your friends, but it's just the perfect simple little Christmas craft. I'm using some of the little plain glass jars from Dollar Tree and showing you how you can just take a tiny little piece of paper and completely transform the look of the jar. I think these look so cute and were so simple to put together. For the last DIY, I wanted to use some more of that scrapbooking paper because I had bought so much of it, and this just seemed like the perfect time to use it on Christmas crafts. So I laid it on the paper and I tried to sketch out how tall it needed to be so that it wouldn't be too tall for the inside of this jar. I do recommend cutting off the price. I didn't think about it whenever I made it, and then I had to go back because you can see it whenever I cut out the little heart. But I made sure that it fit really nicely, and then I pulled it back out and I trimmed it down so make sure that it was going to fit good. And then I'm going to be printing off a little heart off of my computer so that I can trace and cut this out of this paper.
My heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me.
I did cut an opening in the heart, so I just resecured that back with a little piece of clear tape. And then to add a little bit extra detail, I'm using a Sharpie and just try to create that little stitching around the heart. I tucked it back down into the jar just to make sure how it was going to fit, and then I wanted to add a little bit of decor to the top, so I wrapped it in some jute string and added some little embellishments by adding some of those greenery pieces that I had left over from earlier projects, and then I stuck a little jingle bell in the center. And then I'm taking some white chalk paint on a tiny little brush and adding a little bit of snow all over these branches. I think that also gives a lot of dimension and makes everything look a little bit more high quality. And then I had picked up these tea lights from Dollar Tree, and I thought that's what I would be putting down in there. I removed the little plastic piece from the bottom and turned them on, but it just felt like it got lost down there. I didn't like it. It looked so tiny in the bottom, so I thought it would be a cute idea to add in a larger votive candle. Now I know for sure that I will never be able to burn anything in this jar, so don't ever light a candle in here because it does have paper which would be flammable in there. But I just wanted to set this little LED tea light inside the taller candle, and whenever this is setting up on a shelf, it'll look like it has a real tall candle in there. So I thought it was a really cute idea, and it looks really pretty. Tons of fun putting together today's projects. Thank you to my sister-in-law for inspiring this video. I made that first little 8x10 canvas, and I just thought it would be cute to continue making Pinterest inspired DIYs. So if you like this style of video, let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.